All right, guys, just want to make a quick video. Crypto is really weird. I was talking to somebody a couple weeks ago, and they kept telling me, should I be selling my coins now? Is it time to sell my coin? Oh, wait, Cardano hit $1. There's probably going to be a lot of people trying to sell it at $1. Should I sell it now? And I basically just said, look, things are going to be volatile for the next couple months, going into the spring. We're in a bull market. It's best just to not look at it. And the funny thing is, I could have pretty much gone away. I could have gone on vacation when we're at $98,000. While I'm on vacation for 5 days, XRP can drop to $1.80. Cardano can go down to 70 cents. Bitcoin can go from 106 all the way down to 93, which is essentially what it did last week. Now you look, and I wasn't even looking at crypto, to be honest with you, all that much the last couple of days. And I look at, I pull up Live Coin Watch today. I'm thinking, okay, we'll probably be at like a $94,000, $95,000 Bitcoin. Not much is going to happen, on Christmas Eve. And we're almost up to a $99,000 Bitcoin again. And I'm like, okay, that's interesting. What are the altcoins doing? Altcoins are doing pretty good. I mean, as far as coming back, XRP back up to $2.30. So overall, to me, this is extremely bullish. But I guess my point is, if you're in the whole emotional game of crypto, which a lot of people are, think how hell your life would have been over the last 4 days. Because this is exactly what I was doing in 2021, 2020. I would be selling, hoping we would go down more so I could buy back in. Then we'd pump right back up. I'd be buying back in. Then the minute I buy back in, we dump again. So think of all those people. We liquidated millions and millions and millions of dollars of crypto over the last 5 days. Think how many of those people are buying back in now when they sold at $93,000, $95,000. Selling their XRP under $2 or whatever you're selling, now we're right back up. That's why when you're in a bull market like this, it just doesn't make any sense to sell. It doesn't make any, if you want to sell for with a couple $1,000s worth of crypto just to play around, that's all right. But people selling their bags, their entire bags, are the people who are just not going to make any money this cycle. And that's why I say, hold out, guys. Hold out till spring. When we hit April, we'll seriously be looking at when to take profits and when to start getting out, little by little. But right now, it's way too early. All right, so let's see what's actually going on. I saw Michael Saylor did another buy on Bitcoin, which is probably one of the reasons Bitcoin might be going up. Let me see if I can find that article. Well, actually, this article is more about MicroStrategy expands stock issuance for Bitcoin. Concerns arise over end of Bitcoin game. If you Google MicroStrategy, essentially every article is people now concerned over what the hell Michael Saylor's doing with his stock, the way he leverages it to buy Bitcoin. So basically, this article is just saying MicroStrategy announced plans to significantly increase its number of issued shares to accumulate Bitcoin. Concerns have been raised that Bitcoin investors might become mere tools for MicroStrategy. If MicroStrategy's stock issuance succeeds, their market value could surpass the global value of Bitcoin. MicroStrategy, the company with the largest Bitcoin holdings in the world, has submitted an application to significantly increase its number of shares, drawing criticism. And of course, all Michael Saylor is trying to do is issue the most amount of shares as possible so he can personally buy more Bitcoin. But like I said, once Bitcoin drops 70, 80% in the bear market, you'd much rather be in Bitcoin than MicroStrategy. I mean, if you're a MicroStrategy, you're holding worthless shares, where at least Bitcoin, there might be something there and it might come back. And at least with Bitcoin, they can't shut it down. I've said this before. I think MicroStrategy is probably going to get shut down, at least temporarily, going into the bear market as Bitcoin drops 80%. And of course, MicroStrategy can really only be buying Bitcoin as Bitcoin's going up or Bitcoin's price is high, just because of the way he leverages the stock. So right now, Michael Saylor just did another buy for Bitcoin. That could be why Bitcoin went from $95,000 and we're back up to 99. And I fully expect Michael Saylor to be playing this game of issuing more stock, buying Bitcoin as we go deeper into this bull market. But like anything else in this world, all good things must come to an end. And eventually Michael Saylor is not going to be able to do it anymore. Bitcoin's going to drop in price. MicroStrategy is going to drop in price. It's going to be all over the news, every CNBC story. MicroStrategy down 40%, 50%. Bitcoin down 30%. We're in the bear market. And that's when you're going to see Michael Saylor's net worth collapse. And I think he's probably going to be selling some Bitcoin then as well to prevent himself from going bankrupt. And I think it's going to lead to probably one of the worst crypto bear markets in the world, like I've said. But the funny thing is about it is if you Google MicroStrategy, half the articles are basically people just concerned about MicroStrategy and the way it's leveraging the stock. But if you listen to my channel, we've been talking about this for the last 5 months. So at least I can say we're at least one step ahead of the game. And people are starting to talk about it right now, but because we're in a bear market and the price is pumping, people don't care. They'll ignore, like, okay, well, it's a little bit dangerous what MicroStrategy is doing, but the price has gone up and that's all that matters. But once the price goes down, every story on MicroStrategy is going to be completely negative, and it's not going to be good. Trust me, guys. We're also talking about quantum computers. You know, it's funny because I just Google Bitcoin just for the hell of it. I Google Bitcoin just to see what news is coming up. Every story is about quantum computers now. We've been talking about this for the last couple of months on this channel, that quantum computers are probably going to mean the death of cryptocurrency. I understand, like, people tell me on my comments, oh, you know, they're coming out with quantum resistant blockchains and all this other stuff. Okay, you want to have your money in Bitcoin when they're testing out the quantum proof blockchain? It's like being the first guy to test a bulletproof vest. Hey, put on this bulletproof vest. Has it ever been tested before? No, you're going to be the first guy to test it. It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. So while there might be quantum resistant blockchains, Bitcoin may be quantum resistant at one point. I do expect it to get hacked. Seriously, and a lot of other cryptocurrencies that get hacked, at least in the meantime. And I was Googling, like, I'm trying to figure out, like, when quantum computers are going to be first out. Not when they're going to be out to the public, because it doesn't even matter when quantum computers come out for the public. But when are actual executives with Google, scientists, when's it going to be mainstream with those guys? Where, like, a few dozen scientists, a few dozen computer scientists are able to get their hands on a quantum computer. Well, they already have a quantum computer, but nobody can really use it right now. But as I've seen it, by the year 2020, between 2028 and 2030, you're going to see your first quantum computers hit the mainstream, which pretty much means to me, probably in the next 2-3 years, you're going to see quantum computers, corporations holding quantum computers like Google, Apple. They're going to have access to quantum computers. Well, what does that mean? If we go into the bear market right now for crypto, if we go into the bear market in 2025 for crypto, that means the bull market, the next bull market is 2028, right? Or 2029, around then. Well, that's full blown when quantum computers are coming out. That's why I've said, guys, we need to be very, very careful this bull market, to realize that, yeah, we've been playing the 4-year cycles for a couple cycles, but the next cycle might not be all that good if quantum computers are just hitting the mainstream at that point. I was listening to, quantum computers are really amazing. Quantum Miyakaku, just trying to explain it. Basically, he's just, they asked the question, like, how much faster is a quantum computer than a traditional computer? And his answer is infinite. It's like, guys, these quantum computers are going to be able to hack the Bitcoin blockchain in like 5 seconds. It's amazing.
So how much faster is a quantum computer over a digital computer? In principle, infinitely faster. When we talk about digital computers, we can measure their power in terms of bits. For example, spin up, spin down, zeros and 1, would constitute 1 bit. For a large digital computer, we're now talking about billions of bits that are modeled by transistors. Except now quantum computers talk not just about spin up or spin down, but everything in between. That's called a qubit. 1 qubit represents all the possibilities of an object spinning between up and down. Thousands of qubits can now be modeled with the latest generation of quantum computers. Eventually, we hope to hit 1 million. And so we're talking about exceeding the power of ordinary digital computers. That's called quantum supremacy. It is the point at which a quantum computer can outrace and outperform a digital computer on a certain task. We passed that several years ago, but we want a machine that could exceed the power.
Anyway, I highly recommend people listen to this. It's just an 8-minute video from Miyakaku. If you just Google quantum computers, he pretty much talks about it. But yeah, I mean, the future is here. The technology is already here. They've already come up with one. It's just so expensive that it's not available for mainstream. But eventually, somebody's going to get a hold of these quantum computers, and everything's going to be hacked. I had somebody telling me on my comments, well, if they come out with quantum computers and somehow they hack your bank account, you might lose all your money. Not so fast. Your money in your bank is insured by the federal government. And if the federal government doesn't pay you back, that means everybody lost all their money and the entire United States has collapsed. So I'm pretty sure you have a lot better odds of getting paid back via federal government. If you lose your Bitcoin, nobody's going to pay you back. And then, of course, that's why you should probably be holding physical gold, art, and other assets. You don't want to be holding all of your stuff digitally. If you have having $20,000 of gold in the safe is not a bad idea. Diamonds, pearls, or whatever you got. But the whole quantum computer thing, guys, it's real. They're talking about it everywhere. Just Google Bitcoin. If you Google Bitcoin, the Bitcoin price doesn't even come up. Just quantum computer news. And we're at the early stages of it. We'll think what it's going to be in 3, 4, 5 years as we go into the next bull market. We might not even have a bull market. And that's kind of, I hate to be like the bearer of bad news, but that's kind of what I'm trying to warn people of. I'm also seeing with XRP, it is amazing that XRP has held its price at like 240. Here's an article. Analyst says XRP is going to $35 if bullish pattern endures. I don't think it is, but at least you're seeing some pumpy articles. Crypto chartist Crypto Insight UK speculates that XRP could see a substantial upsurge, reaching an ambitious $35 next year if the current bullish pattern endures. Despite its recent woes, XRP has an impressive year after a range of breakout in November, blah, 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 blah. It's funny because I made a video last week. They were talking about a $15 XRP, and I'm basically saying how crazy that is. And now you're seeing videos for $35 XRP. And this is just my point to how you're in a bull market. When you start to see all of these articles, I think we might get a $10 or $15 XRP. Wouldn't be the most outrageous thing in the world. I think most likely it's probably going to be under 10, between 8 and 10. I think Cardano and XRP are probably going to have a similar price at the top of this alt season. But you're really seeing a lot of these high price predictions now for a lot of these altcoins, which pretty much means we're in bull market because you don't see these predictions when you're in a bear market. And I haven't talked about Richard Hart in a while. Here's a story on Richard Hart. He looks like he's got some legal problems. Hex Crypto founder Richard Hart hit with Interpol red notice. Richard Schuller, aka Hex Crypto founder Richard Hart, is being sought by Interpol and is lauded on Europeans' most wanted fugitive list. Interestingly, Richard Hart just made a YouTube video. It's like a 60-minute video where he's rambling. I haven't even listened to it yet, but it looks like he is wanted by authorities. Interpol, the world's largest international law enforcement organization, issued an arrest request for Hex cryptocurrency founder Richard Schuller over tax fraud and assault accusations. I don't know anything about the assault accusations. I couldn't find anything on it. I actually checked recently, and I couldn't find anything about the assault, so I don't even know what that's about. Interpol issued its red notice for Schuller, better known in crypto circles as Richard Hart, as requests law enforcement worldwide to locate and arrest the person pending extradition. And he's also got the problem with the SEC, which that actually might be the least of his concerns. Byron, Boston, former Dallas police officer and CEO of crypto firm CryptoTrack, told Decrypt that the Interpol red notice reflects increasing international collaboration to address criminal activity tied to cryptocurrencies. So, I mean, really, is the guy a mass murderer? Is he raped? No, it looks like he basically just didn't pay his taxes in crypto, and he probably thought he could get away with it living all throughout the world, and now they're coming at him. I haven't looked at the price of Hex lately. Let's check that out. Yeah, I mean, the price isn't doing great. This is Hex Pulse Chain up, well, it's up 113% over the last 90 days. I mean, it doesn't look like the price is overall collapsing. I mean, if you look at it right here, let's do the 30-day on Hex. Well, wow. This must have been when the news came out. Well, I guess the market was in general dumping on the couple of days earlier, but I mean, yeah, I mean, with all this going on with Richard Hart, I think it is going to significantly affect Hex's gains at going into all season. But I still think Hex is probably going to at least get a 10, 20x from where it is right now. As crazy as that is, you have to remember, guys, when you go into these alt seasons and these parabolic times, even the most shittiest of cryptocurrencies pump. So I wouldn't be surprised if Hex does get a pump. Other than that, there's not too much else going on, guys. Overall, this has been a nice recovery going into Christmas. I guess you could call it kind of a Santa rally because we were kind of, dumping over the last couple of days. Like I said, we might be pumping because, MicroStrategy is buying a lot of Bitcoin right now, and heck, MicroStrategy buying Bitcoin might be the whole reason we even get $150,000 Bitcoin. But of course, I think that's going to eventually end in collapse. But overall, it's nice to see that your altcoins are holding up. Bitcoin's pumping. Most of your altcoins up 5 to 10%. I checked earlier, some of your lower cap altcoins are up 20%. Some of your AI coins are pumping. Gaming coins are pumping. Overall, not a bad day because it could have been a lot worse. I know just yesterday we were like a $94,000 Bitcoin. Do I think we're going to hit $100,000 Bitcoin? We could hit $100,000 Bitcoin by Christmas, guys. I think we're probably going to get rejected if we hit 100, but I think we're probably going to be in this range. And I've been talking about ranges for the last couple months between 90,000 and 100. I think that's where Bitcoin wants to be. I think probably going into the new year, definitely by mid-January, I think we're going to blow out of this range and probably be at like $120,000 Bitcoin. I think that's when we're going to get the next leg up for altcoins. We're going to get that $4, $5 XRP, that $3 Cardano, or at least a $2 Cardano. And then we're probably going to go back down a little bit, back down to like $115,000, $110,000 Bitcoin, rinse and repeat. Then I think Bitcoin's going to have one more blast off, maybe going to like 130, 140, maybe if all the planets align 150. And I think that's going to be going into spring, and that's when we're going to have the next final leg of the altcoin pump, and hope we'll probably get that $8 XRP, $5 to $8 Cardano. You pick your coin, and that's when we're going to really need to be selling and getting out of these markets, because I really think the next bear market for Bitcoin and crypto is going to be really, really nasty. Who else made a video? What's his face? Yeah, I forgot to mention, I was watching Alicio, who's pretty much been right on about Bitcoin and cryptocurrency for the most part. He thinks as long as we stay above like $85,000, we're totally bullish. We'll listen to a little bit of him.
When Bitcoin hit 100K, she was made aware that a lot of dumb money has flowed into Bitcoin, especially recently, again, when Bitcoin was reaching that 90K to 100K region. Hey guys, Alessio, hope you're well, and welcome to a brand new video update on Bitcoin. As I'm sure you know, I haven't posted a video on YouTube about Bitcoin for some time, so in this video, we're going to dig into the chart of Bitcoin and explain what could this mean for Bitcoin in the next several months as we finish this year, as we get close to Christmas and the holidays, and as we start the new year in 2025. What could 2025 hold in store? Is about 90K on Bitcoin. So I would personally say that this region between 90K to about 85, 80K is going to be extremely important for Bitcoin to protect. 85 to 80K is because that's approximately where the weekly 21 EMA would be located perhaps in a week or so. So I would say the region between 90K, where the trend line is, to about 85 to 80K is going to be extremely important for Bitcoin to protect if bulls are going to remain in control and push this crypto back up to new all-time highs. So for now, I'm not seeing any signs of a top. I should say the drop we had recently on Bitcoin was impulsive. It was composed of 5 smaller waves on the lower time frame. However, it's too soon to call. So even though there are some minor signs which are potentially concerning or negative, nevertheless, there's no sign at the moment of a top in Bitcoin, and there's no
Yeah, I listened to that a couple of days ago, and it made me feel really, really good because, I mean, I kind of knew that anyway, but when this guy comes out, Alicio, and he starts telling you that it's over, we're going into a bear market, get the fuck out, like, you really need to be paying attention. He does have a good gauge in the market. Not right about everything, but he has a good gauge. And he thinks we're nowhere near a top, which to me means we probably have another 6 months of this bull market. We're not seeing those top indicators yet. And he's saying if you hold above $80,000, $85,000, like you're pretty much a golden. And Bitcoin really, Bitcoin, we had it drop to 94, 93. We pump right back up. There's a lot of strength in the market right now, so I am not concerned. Overall, guys, everything looking good. We're coming out of this little dumperoo, $98,000. It might be $100,000 by tomorrow. And we'll just kind of go from there. I don't expect anything too crazy to happen because tomorrow's a holiday. I think the stock market's closed the rest of the week. But I think next week, like I said, going into the new year, we're probably going to reach that new breakout level for Bitcoin, 110, 120, and then we're going to see the altcoins absolutely go crazy. I really do expect in January we're going to see melt your face altcoin rallies with Cardano, XRP, Theta, Vulcan Forge, like you name your coin. We're going to see those melting face, oh my God, euphoric moves, followed by a big old pullback. And then we're kind of going to repeat that cycle one more time going into the spring. And then it's going to be all out bear market hell. All right, guys, like and subscribe. Merry Christmas. And I'll talk to you later.